Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube video. Today I'm talking about why you should read books. So I think it's important for people to read because you can learn so much from any book. Obviously, depending on what book you choose will depend on what you might be learning or how much you will be learning. You can even just pick up like a storybook and you can quite happily sit there and learn new vocabulary. Obviously reading can just improve your writing skills because you're reading what great writers have wrote, so you're gonna learn vocabulary from them. You're gonna without realizing you're just gonna look at the way they've written it. You can see how they've written it. It will like get sucked into your brain. But yeah, if you read like multiple different writers and stuff, you can actually see a difference in how one writer writes compared to another, and it is quite cool in a way because you can just see how people are different, but they're both popular authors, and that it works both ways. There's no like right or wrong way to write a book, and many ways work, and it's just crazy to see how different people approach the task. I personally read quite a lot of Indian scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads. I read other stuff such as The Power of Now. I've got a meditation book back there which I'm not too fond of, but I have read it. There's Advaita Vedanta and books similar to them that I have read, and that's just my sort of preference, but I think it's cool just to like get into reading. Obviously find what books work best for you. You might prefer books on cars or whatever tickles your fancy. Yeah, I think it's important for people to read because it can help with brain function, and it helps with your concentration levels as well. Because when I first started reading, I noticed that I would have to reread a lot. Like I'd read a page and then I'd go, in my head I'd start thinking, did I actually read that? And then I'd read it again and then I'm like, oh yeah, I did read that. But obviously now, since I've been reading for a long time now, I've noticed that I can concentrate on a book a lot more than I used to. So that's a good reason why I think people should read books. Another reason, which I think is quite important, I mean, I love technology. I play games, I use my phone a lot. You can't survive in a world without technology nowadays. But I do think it's important to occasionally take a break from technology. And I think sometimes even just sitting down for 10, 20, half an hour, just reading, just forget about your phone for a minute, put it to one side, it's just quite relieving. Obviously at first, if you're always on your phone, this might be difficult for you, but over time you will just find it nice just to have a good 10-20 minutes, even if you're just for 10 minutes away from your phone. Personally, I like to read in the mornings. I try to read every morning. Sometimes I forget, or sometimes I am rushing about because I'm late for something, or sometimes I just like push it further back. Maybe I'll read in the afternoon instead. It just depends. But yeah, I like to try and make sure I read in the mornings, sort of like when I first wake up almost. So yeah, it's a good routine to get into. It also gives you something to do, especially in a time like this when we're all locked down, we're all stuck inside. You might just have a book that you've been waiting to read, like, oh, when I get a chance I'll read it, or you know, if the internet ever goes off I might pick up the book, then at least I've got something to do. I would urge people just to pick it up and read it, just for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. You can obviously, what I like to do sometimes is I just say, well, I can't be asked to read right now, but I should read, so I'm just going to sit down and read this one paragraph. And if you can read one paragraph, then you've accomplished something. You've made progress towards finishing that book, towards finding new information, towards relaxing for 10 minutes, because reading can be quite relaxing. Obviously it's nice to just find a quiet spot, just sit there and read. It does relax you down, especially if you've been quite stressed out or you're upset about something. It can just take your mind off of that for a minute and just take you somewhere else. If you're reading a storybook, it will you'll be somewhere completely different in your head. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's why I think more people should read, and I urge you, whoever's watching, to pick up a book. It could be any book, and read it. So hopefully you watch my next video. I'll see you then. Bye.